What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going so far so good. Let me pull this out. You want to get into Roll 20 real quick?
Yeah, let me make one quick adjustment. I just wanted to try out the speakers real quick. Let me try my headset.
Sure. So far, your audio is coming in really well.
Sorry, one more time.
I said so far your audio is coming in really well.
Yep, and through the headphones, it sounds much better than the other computer does, like ever. Gotta hand it to my brother. He picked a good machine.
Is that why you call it the Infernal Machine?
Yeah, he bought this thing in Iraq when he was on deployment. Um, the When he first gave it to me, I opened it up to clean it out, and it still had Iraqi sand and dust in it. It was insane. Um, but I popped in 8 gigs of RAM, doubled the RAM. It already has a good video card. It is top of the line, but it's also, obsolete. And when I put Windows 10 on it, it just completely rejected the new organ. So I
Oh, is
called
that
you.
why? Because I remember you talking about this thing like it was like an old muscle car, but it had just died on you.
Basically, I mean, and this thing, because I tried it with Cloud Ready, which I'm using now. I tried that first, didn't really like it. Then I tried Linux because I thought, hey, it can't be that bad, and it was that bad. Um, and then finally, I shelled out $100 or so for Windows 10, and this particular model is like right in that pocket where um, it's like a very specific reason why it absolutely will not work with Windows 10.
Is that
So,
why you say it's obsolete?
um, kind of yes and no. Like I say it's obsolete just because it's so old. Um, but like I said, the old muscle car analogy works. I just have to, um, because I can't think of a proper way to get Vista back onto it. Its original operating system. I didn't do a backup or anything.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, I've had to muddle through finding the best operating system to get the most use of it out of it as I can. Um, and this thing, like, it ran New Vegas and Skyrim without even mods, like back in the day. I got cocky and started messing with it too much.
I gotcha.
Yep, just hit the join game link. All right, I'm in.
Okay, then you should be on the page and with the map of Roy's house.
Yep.
Tell me what you think.
Let's see. Let's see. Expand page. Let's see. Yep. Everything else I'm gonna have to do with this computer. It's minor stuff like gotta hunt down another mouse. I have to wait a minute. Where are my scroll bars? Because I can zoom. Oh, they're just really tiny. What the
Again,
shit?
go to Journal View,
Journal view.
which is the newspaper icon.
Wait a
It's like
minute. Wait a minute. Gasp. Do my eyes betray me?
depends on what your eyes are seeing.
My eyes are seeing a Hunter the Reckoning character sheet. A one with a spelling error. Equipment.
Oh, okay.
and
That's
and
not
to,
actually what I was trying to lead you toward. And unfortunately, that thing is broken. As you'll see, it doesn't have dots so much; it has like streaks.
right.
Yeah. Oh, and derangements only has one R. So
And okay.
yeah, whoever wrote the problem is like I don't know how to fix the character sheet.
Hmm.
Like if it were up to me, I'd just like create a new one. But I guess you have to code this. So and then even then, I wouldn't know how you're meant to upload that to Roll20 and then submit that, and then I guess they review it, and
Hmm.
I don't know.
Oh
There,
shit.
there was a guy in my other campaign who said he might have a friend who could help, but he never got back to me on it.
And it's got the edges right there.
You found
Oh,
those?
yep. I like the picture for Muse of Flame. Digging it.
Good. Yeah, that's just the first thing I'm going to do. I'm also going to mess around with your backgrounds and your story hooks and everything. Like, it didn't even occur to me that you could do that in Roll20, that you could go in and like, because the character sheet was never really an option. I was just kind of frustrated with the whole journal aspect, and I never really touched it. And it never occurred to me to like go in there and look around at what else you could do. And then at some point, I noticed on Chris's display that he had all of these what Roll20 calls handouts, which are
Hmm.
documents that explain like mechanics and rules and stuff. Like,
Yeah, true.
wait a minute. If I fucked around with that, then I wouldn't have to go to another program like Adobe Acrobat and read all these other PDFs, and I wouldn't have to go to Chrome and look up these rules, and I wouldn't. It could all be here in this
Right.
one. So I assume you can see your edges and no one else's.
I can see Becky's because Cleve is on there, but I can't see any of her others. I'm
Okay.
assuming that's just because she and I have the same one or
Yeah,
share.
yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Um, good. So yeah, now your edges are in there, but at some point I'll go in and like put in your backgrounds and other pertinent information that I need to look up, and hopefully this will decrease any latency as far as the rules are concerned. I should go in and add basic combat rules. What's it called? Initiative rules, and you know,
Right.
yeah. So I won't have to hopefully spend as much time. Like if someone brings up something that I don't know off the top of my head, I can just like real quick. I've got that information right here.
Hmm.
Yep.
And it looks like, let's see, other traits, conviction, willpower, dice pools. Not right. I remember seeing that on Chris's character sheets. I'll be able to
Do you know what would
if
go ahead?
if I start with a sentence and then trail off, that's just me. Yeah, don't mind that.
It's no worry. Honestly, like, oh my god. So, oh fuck. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to get a hold of Mariah tomorrow and figure out why we couldn't get her into Hangouts. Because it wasn't just you, remember? It
Right.
was she was having trouble getting in, but once she got in, everything was fine. Um, and Jamie and I had this whole big. Oh, are you running Audacity by any chance?
No, not right now. I
Do you
don't
have it
have.
installed on that machine yet?
I don't. I haven't even checked to see if I can get it on there yet. Um, my original thought was if I can't, then I'll just have both computers going at the same time to, and that would hopefully alleviate any issues. Just
I mean, if you could record with one,
record with one, use the other,
yeah,
spreading the GPU or CPU load.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Uh,
It's just my whole thing is like, and Jimmy, I had this whole discussion as to why OBS, which is another screen capture program, was superior to Hangouts. And the thing was, I just, yes, I enjoy all of us recording our audio separately,
mhm.
and I'll mix it together later. But I like the idea of having a backup file that is all of our audio combined, not
Right.
just in the event that something happens to the solo files, but also as a point of reference in case I
Mhm.
get lost or mixed up while I'm editing. So
Yeah. From like right now, I am kind of seeing an issue with. Okay, hold on, pan view. Okay, maybe. Never mind. Found it. I couldn't easily access the scroll bars for the map, but then I discovered pan view where you can just kind of click, drag, and that moves the map. This entire time using this program, and I just now discovered that.
yeah, you know what? I'd like to do is ask Jamie to develop macros for everybody's. Well, maybe you probably couldn't do it with every edge.
Well, at least you could with cleave because then it's. I mean, basically with the roll macro, you just add in weapon damage or what
Well,
is it? When you
that's
invoke.
you can just do that with your normal hunter button. You just add dice to your damage pool,
Um,
and as you'll see on the cleave rule, if you invest conviction, you just add dice to your attack roll.
right. The um,
Something interesting I noticed, by the way. Um, hang on. Keep your eye on Katrina. Yeah.
neat.
So the next time that we have like the only problem is like there's some of it doesn't work. There's one thing that doesn't work very well, and I'm trying to. Oh, right, I think it's no. What was it? Something. Yeah, it was splatter.
Blood spray.
Which would be, you know,
At least it's a little something.
it's just the hell is. Oh, I can just do that. I don't know why missile. Fucking okay. So that'll indicate when you guys take wounds. So that's cool. Okay, so no, but I meant macros for edges like bluster.
Right.
Although, really, I guess that's just still adding. Well, no, because then the bluster would just you could pre-program that, so you could just hit one button, and in theory, not. You'd only have to. The only input value would be, are you risking any conviction?
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm mulling it over in my head, and I'm trying to decide if it's even worth it.
Now with my character sheet, if down here where it says dice pools, if I want to try something out here. If I just find, I don't know why Chrome likes to just show a scroll bar briefly and then make it disappear. You're going to have to sort that out. I'm wondering.
I don't know, man. I don't feel like there's a whole heck of a lot of sense in messing with these things just because, you know, they're broken. They're so clearly broken.
Yeah, like all these dashes for the abilities and attributes. It's not.
Yeah, doesn't work.
Well, shit.
I know, it's like,
Okay, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to throw in some random values here. Wait, no, my strength ones are gone. Like, for attributes, there's only two, like the 2 out of the 3 columns. One of those just flat out doesn't have any input. I was just wondering if it was possible if I put in like strength plus melee, hit the dice button, pool modification. What does that do? I'm just going to hit number. Difficulty 6. What does that even do? What does that look like? Why can't I see? Yeah. Oh, wait, there we go. Oh, that's weird.
I'm exiting real quick, but I'll be back. It's just I'm going to attempt to see if I can add a custom character sheet. Game details, game settings. Okay.
Okay, that's where that comes from. So on like that roll that I just made, it's got on my character sheet under attributes and abilities, it had my strength, dexterity, and stamina all at 8, which would be nice, but is broken. And then melee at 4. When I hit that dice button from the main character sheet, like in the middle, all the way at the bottom, I could put in attribute strength, melee for the ability, and then just hit the 20, the D20 button. And that's where that roll came from.
Well, sorry, could you? I was into something else, man. I got distracted. Can you repeat that?
On the character sheet, like as you're looking at it, the tab that says character sheet, down at the bottom in the middle, how it has dice pools.
Right.
I just like as an experiment, I dropped in strength and melee, and then under the attributes and abilities tab, I don't know what your list looks like, but for mine, it's got strength, dexterity, stamina, background 2, which is weird, and a few other weird things. But it's got melee there too at 4. Basically, it just looks like there is the bones for setting up like hotkeys for rolls without using macros, but it just
on your character sheet,
right,
which is broken.
Right.
I'm just saying, man. It's kind of like tooling around in a corpse and being like,
what's this do?
This guy had good legs. I bet he could run.
But
if he weren't dead.
Exactly.
The game settings page. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing is beta test level. I mean, which makes sense. But we have it when we didn't before. That's the important part. In a perfect world, it will look exactly like the one in the book. But wait a minute.
Oh man, this is, yeah, it's basically saying pro subscribers, and I am one, can also choose custom to enter their own HTML and CSS. Oh boy, you know, I know some people at work who are fluent enough in HTML and CSS. I wonder how much money and or dinner I would have to throw their way. Okay. Let me see. I just want to...
Okay, I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Under character sheet, the dashes, in order to change those values, instead of actually, pointing and clicking, yes, that does change it, but it's just more of an indicator, and you change the values on the attributes and abilities page.
Where are we talking about at this point?
Under the character sheet, on the character sheet, on the character sheet tab, the dashes beside at your attributes and abilities, you can adjust the values by clicking on the dashes and just trying to get it right that way. But if you go up to the attributes and abilities tab, there's a list that if you adjust things there, then it adjusts the dashes. You see what I'm saying?
I do, but does it make it work?
No, that's what I'm experimenting with here.
Just saying, you're performing an autopsy, which I give you leave to do, and it's perfectly fine.
If I'm
is what it is.
If I'm performing an autopsy, then I am Will Smith in Men in Black.
You know how you see like people perform an autopsy and they've got like a tape recorder, and it's like, I'm entering the thoracic cavity now, and there appear to be scorch marks in the lungs. Cause of death appears to be intense smoke inhalation, and that's the professional coroner, and I just imagine you opening up the thoracic cavity and you say into the recorder, basically you just nod and say, yeah, this guy's dead, all right. That is one dead dude.
Like in procedural cop shows when they cut to like the quirky coroner and like they do all their professional stuff, but then they like say something like some sort of quirky quip to the dead guy. That would be me, except none of the professional stuff. It's just me cutting into the dead guy, making small talk. So, how's the wife and kids? Oh, wait, you have no idea, do you?
One time, Kendra and I were on an elevator when she worked in the hospital in Gainesville, and a cadaver was wheeled in. The elevator, we were, it was covered up and everything, but we knew it was a fucking dead body under there. And I just had this wicked urge to just sort of like look down and say, rough day, huh?
Oh my god, that would have been perfect.
wouldn't it? This is so ridiculous. I wonder how many other character sheets in this thing are broken.
Oh, I can only imagine with how many random like tabletop RPGs are out
I
there.
I didn't even know there were this many tabletops. I swear, it's crazy. There's a Ghostbusters one, really?
It's surprising no one. That makes sense. But I mean, some are like I know there is one for the Dresden Files, and I think it's
I scrolled past that one.
theirs is probably better than the Hunter one. Sons of bitches. But I think for that one, it's basically just they took a pre-established system and painted it with the Dresden Files lore and everything. I think the system is the Fudge Dice system, where it's
Fudge.
yeah, it's like D6s and like two of the sides are plus, two of the sides are minus, two of the sides are blank or just neutral or something.
I just forget that White Wolf tried to do a Street Fighter storytelling game. It's just special.
Oh my god, that is very special.
Do I really want to try doing what I think I might want? All right, what's adventure? All right, not that. Aberrant. What's aberrant? Okay. Nope. Nope. Interesting.
Wish there was a reset button for these dashes and things. Yeah, if this thing were a corpse and I'm doing an autopsy, it is mincemeat by now.
Yes.
I would just call someone and be like, "Hey, can I get a fresh one in here?"
I remember earlier how I said this guy was definitely dead. Well, if he wasn't dead before, he definitely is now.
Like, I know I had a goal when I started in on this, but I just found something interesting, went in digging for it, and now where's the undo button?
Oh, Hunter the Vigil, why did you have to be so starkly different from the Reckoning?
That's the one where it's like just hunters but with no edges, right?
I mean, it's like, yeah, they don't have edges, but they have what are called, is it endowments? I know. Well, they have, okay, so you know how in my game there are cells in various cities?
Right.
And then maybe those cells belong to like a larger, albeit maybe not very closely knit group that primarily operates in the southeastern United States.
Right.
That's called Hunt Southeast. So in Hunter the Vigil, the Hunt Southeast would be known as a compact. Just basically a larger affiliation of cells. And then you've got the largest group of any, the largest tier of any group of hunters is called a conspiracy. And usually a conspiracy has internationally reaching connections. And there are four major ones. One is, I think it's called Operation Valkyrie, and that's your government ties, military industrial complex thing.
Right.
You've got one group that's like just a shit ton of rich people that hunt for fun and excitement. You know, they do that most dangerous game shit, and
Right.
yeah, let's pull out a vampire's fangs as a trophy kind of thing. I think there's one that is like some sort of corporate biomedical company.
Hmm.
That's, yeah, like probably experimenting on monsters for fun and profit. And I think one has religious ties. Uh, and they use both. They use like a cult. Um, okay, so each of those, right? You get different. Edge is really a good word for it. You get different advantages, I guess. So if you're with Operation Valkyrie, the military one, like you get special munitions and special weapons and special equipment. You know,
Gotcha.
ghost bullets and witch stoppers and shit like that.
Technical term, which I
I
can
dude,
imagine just
I'm
one.
I'm remembering a book that I read months ago. So and Lucifuge has like this is a piece of Lucifer's finger, and you know that'll give you it. It'll shoot flames out of it or something. You know, they all just have like weird shit, but it's not like Edges, and it's there's there's no messengers, and there's no kind of like it all feels too loose.
Mhm.
And I like the classic World of Darkness because it feels so kind of all encompassing,
Right.
while you hit the nail on the head with like when I introduce you to things like Jay and Harrington and the Wolf Pack in Gainesville, like you do get glimpses into larger portions of the world that you may or may not ever get to fully explore. But it's
Mhm.
still like you're still encompassed within that world.
Right. You're a part of
Um,
it. It's
yeah,
kind of like with Chris's campaign, how the mages were like, "Oh, great, it's the hunters," you know,
yeah. And
the
I just feel
sense
with the
that.
new World of Darkness, everything is very disassociated
Mhm.
with everything else. So that's just me.
I found out something new about the character sheet in my autopsy. Um,
Did you somehow bring it back to life as a ravenous zombie? God damn
eh,
it.
getting there, I got a foot to twitch. So as you're looking at it, switching between the character sheet tab and the attributes tab. Um, if you go to the attributes tab and you delete all of the actual attribute, like where it says name, current, and max, if you delete it back on the character sheet, the line of dashes comes back. But if you click on one of the dashes and then go back, it pops up with that line. It's just that the markers themselves are very backwards. Um, apparently, there's 8 um, spots. So if you click on the third, showing like three dashes, back on the attributes and abilities tab, it shows that attribute at 5. So it's okay. Let me delete that. Type it in as 4. Go back to the character sheet. 4 dashes. Okay. So basically, there's a line of code that is inverse somewhere.
Yeah, I think Lumi said something about that. But the problem is like you can't go into the HTML, to my knowledge, and fix whatever the one guy fucked up, whose first language was clearly not English, by the way.
Right.
Equipment.
I foresee that becoming a joke.
It would be one fine. How do you do?
Hey,
Okay,
fine.
so I'm gonna pull you away from the character sheet tab,
Mhm.
Rejuvenator or Reanimator. um, no, Rejuvenator works too. You have that edge. And go to the attributes and abilities.
Okay. Attributes and abilities tab.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, how badly do I want to manually enter?
Yeah. Because that's basically what you would have to do in order to enter your backwards numbers.
Yeah. No, I really don't. I really don't need to. Is the thing. Um.
I mean, since we use macros anyways, you would, I mean, you wouldn't have to worry about what the actual value under the attributes and abilities tab is. You just have to set it so that your dots look a certain way. You know, like if you have a strength of 3 on your sheet, you just type in strength 5 under current, go back, and there it is. Your strength has 3 dots.
Hang on.
But
Your current strength is 4, right?
yes, so I would just type in. Wait a minute. Where did that 4 max 5 optional thing come from? What are you doing? Huh. Yeah,
Dan,
I don't.
pick one of Vandal's abilities.
Okay, melee
Oh,
4.
perfect. Melee 4. Okay.
Yep.
Uh. Now. Use this to insert attributes and hashtag for macros. Hang on. Why are you? Interesting. I wish I knew how to write a macro.
Yeah, Jamie's a macro wizard.
Jamie does. You know what I can do? I can motherfucking. Oh god, this really is meant to be so much easier. You know what? You and I could probably, if we made use of Chris's sheet, we might. Hey, let's hop over to Riptide real quick.
Sure.
Although we've come.
Yep, I'm gonna need a proper surge for this one. I just have tea. That's not gonna cut it. Back in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, so just type any message and press enter. 1, 2, 4. Roll the dice and enter any formula. Dice D size plus modifier. Okay. Okay, so okay. Dan, do you still have the original Hunter macro in your thing, or did you delete it?
And Riptide, no, I have the new one that Jenny made for
That's okay. I
initiating
can
roll.
copy and paste it over to you. Oh, where's the thingamajig? You see it in Google Hangouts? I just copied and pasted over to you.
Tab. Oh, yep.
Cool.
Oh, you've been doing stuff over here at the casting the whole time. I've just been looking at my. I feel like I've been in this conversation with my eyes closed all of a sudden. Okay, so what am I doing with this macro?
Just copy it, and then we're going to go over to journal. And then I can't see your character, but I'm sure you can see. I'm sure you can. Do you see Kincaid in there?
Kincaid and where?
If you go over to the journal icon, you know, the newspaper icon.
Oh yeah, there. Yep.
You see him?
Yep.
Click on him, and then go to the attributes and abilities tab.
Mm-hmm.
No, over to the right, top right where it says abilities, click add.
Mm-hmm.
And then your new ability you're going to call whatever. And then you're going to paste the macro. And we're going to replace the phrase number of dice with. Okay, well, you're going to do melee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so replace the phrase number of dice with what's your dex?
4.
And what's your melee?
4.
So replace the phrase number of dice with 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then keep the word difficulty in there. Yeah, just basically just replace the phrase number of dice. Okay. I'm going to try to show this in macro bar. Now, I've added a button to my macro bar that says Travis Firearms.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see what happens when I roll that. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, go back and do it again. I'm looking at Hangouts now. Okay, it just says. Well, no, 7, 6.
I don't think that worked right.
Okay, let me try mine. Yep, 8. So it just says like 8 colon and then the box. 8 difficulty 6. Huh. Okay. on
Dan? Crap. Dan, did I lose you? Okay. If you can hear me, type in the text box.